All right, let's get into it. If you're using Google Chrome on a Windows computer, you've probably run into its, let's say, very persistent friend, that Windows Hello pop-up. You know the one. It asks for your PIN every single time you need to autofill a password. So today we're going to talk about what it is, why it's even there, and, more importantly, how you can finally turn it off.
Yeah, does this screen look a little too familiar? You're just trying to log into a website, you know your password is saved, and right as you're about to click sign in, bam! Windows Security pops up demanding your PIN. It happens over and over and over. It's one of those tiny tech frustrations that can completely break your workflow, you know?
So what's the deal with this thing? Is your Chrome just bugging out? Well, actually, no. Believe it or not, this pop-up is a totally intentional security feature that's built right into Chrome for Windows. Think of it as a digital bouncer for your saved passwords.
And the reason it's there is actually pretty smart. It's an extra layer of biometric security. It's meant to stop somebody who, say, sits down at your already unlocked computer from just jumping into all of your saved accounts. So if you share your PC with your family, or maybe at work, this feature is honestly looking out for you, even if it feels a little needy. And this, right here, really gets to the core of it. On one side, you have this really solid, enhanced security, a strong barrier protecting your entire digital life. But on the other side, you have the pure annoyance of having to type in a PIN all the time. It is the classic tech trade-off, isn't it? Security versus convenience.
But let's say you've weighed the options and convenience is your priority. Maybe you're the only person who ever uses your computer. Well, there's a way out. So let's get right to the solution that's going to work for most of you.
The process is actually super straightforward. First thing you're going to do is head into your Chrome settings. From there, on the left, find Autofill and Passwords, and then click into the Google Password Manager. Now, once you're in there, you'll see another settings option in that new sidebar. And right there, you should see a toggle switch for Use Windows Hello when filling passwords. Just go ahead and flip that off. Of course, the irony is you'll have to enter your PIN one last time, just to confirm that you want to turn it off.
Okay, so for most people, that should be it. Problem solved. Freedom! But what if it isn't? What if you toggled that switch off, you restarted your computer, and a day later, that pop-up comes back like a bad movie sequel? Don't worry, it does happen, and we've got a few more things you can try.
So yeah, if you're in that boat where the pop-up just won't quit, let's roll up our sleeves and do a little bit of troubleshooting. There could be a few deeper reasons why Chrome is just ignoring your command.
All right, we're going to move through a couple more advanced steps now. You should think of these as an escalation plan, right? We're going to start with the simplest fix and work our way up to the most comprehensive one.
First, try a full restart of Chrome. And I don't just mean closing the window. I mean using the menu to completely exit the application, then relaunch it. If that doesn't do the trick, check for updates. Check for Chrome updates, and also check for Windows updates. Sometimes a simple bug fix is just sitting there waiting to be installed. And if all else fails, your last resort, kind of the nuclear option, is to completely reset Chrome's settings.
Now, I know that phrase, reset Chrome, sounds pretty scary. But before you panic, it's really important to know what it doesn't do. The most crucial point here is that your important stuff, your bookmarks, your browsing history, and yes, your safe passwords, all of that will be safe. So the reset is actually a lot less destructive than it sounds.
However, it's not totally without consequences. A reset will clear out your cookies and all your temporary data, which means you're going to get logged out of all your websites. It also deactivates every single one of your extensions, so you'll have to go back in and re-enable your favorites one by one. It's basically a clean slate for your settings, but not for your personal data. So after all of that troubleshooting, we kind of land right back where we started, standing at that intersection of security and convenience. This whole little pop-up issue is just a perfect example of that constant balancing act we all do in our digital lives. Ultimately, deciding to disable this feature is a personal choice. You're making a trade. You're giving up a tiny piece of security for a much smoother, faster browsing experience. So the real question to leave you with is this. In your own digital life, where do you draw that line? Is a little moment of friction worth the extra peace of mind? Definitely something to think about.